guys, so today I thought I would film a video on how to deal with anxiety whilst on holiday, because for me going on holiday is quite an anxious time for me. I know people say holidays are supposed to be relaxing and better than being stuck at home, but for me they are quite a high source of anxiety, and I have been to Menorca already and I'm going on a cruise soon, and I also go to and from Bristol to see family, so I do quite a lot of holidaying, because that's totally a word. So yeah, I thought I could try and pass on some advice maybe. Not quite sure how good my advice would be, but this is what works for me and anything's worth a try really. Before you go on holiday, you've obviously got packing, which is fun for some people hate it. For me, I hate packing. It's when my anxiety really starts to sort of go and creep in and be like, hello, don't forget I'm here. So for me, packing is all about just in case. The word just in case rules my life when I'm packing. Well, technically it's the phrase just in case. Just rules my life when I'm packing, because I'll be like, I haven't worn this top in a year, I don't really like it, but because I'm going on holiday, I need it just in case. Or I want this piece of makeup that isn't my favourite, but I might want it on holiday just in case. I am bringing 26 books just in case I get a reading fetish. It's all just in case, or what if this happens and I need this. I'm the world's most irritating packer. Like, I pack anything and everything. I pack the world. I'd pack my whole house if I could and be like a snail with a shell on my back. But sadly, I can't do that. So a piece of advice I'd have for packing is take the correct number of clothes, and also plan outfits as opposed to just sort of slinging everything into a suitcase that you can find out of your wardrobe, because then that's one thought out of your mind. Well, try to get out of your mind, and yeah, that's usually better than sort of scrambling around in the morning trying to choose what to wear. And another piece of advice would be to make a list, which sounds very old-fashioned and very, ooh, who makes a list nowadays? No one does that except middle-aged people who forget everything. No, you can list what the hell you like, no one's gonna know if you made a list. I list things because I find it a lot easier, because then I know exactly what I've got for when I'm repacking to come home, and it means that I can look realistically at what I need, because sometimes my head isn't very good at keeping things in proportion, as Mel would probably know the best. It doesn't really like to do that. It has no sense of perspective at all and just likes to go completely wild. So to try and calm it down a little bit, I choose to write lists, and I've now got quite a list that's very set and generally works for most holidays. So I use that as a template for the holiday, because obviously it'll change, if you're going on a week holiday compared to a 2-week holiday, you're going to need to pack different things. And yeah, so packing is my number one. For the flight, now some people are scared of flying. I'm not particularly scared of flying. Like, being in a plane doesn't overly bother me, but when I got diagnosed with anxiety and I started developing anxiety, I don't really like confined spaces or the feeling of being trapped, because obviously in a plane you can't just get out of the plane because you'll plummet however many feet and have no oxygen, which probably isn't the brightest idea. So I have to try and stay calm on the plane and make sure I don't get to a point of anxiety where I just want to leave because you can't, and I don't really want to have to land the plane because that'd be a bit awkward and probably make me feel a whole lot worse. So some essentials for me on a plane are, number one, headphones. I have bought some Beats recently which I got for my birthday, and they are ideal for aeroplanes because they shut out a lot of sound, which is perfect for me, because when you've got the screaming baby behind you, parents, this is a little insert for you. If you bring a child with you, entertain them, Don't leave them screaming or kicking the back of the chair, and don't give them Coke either, because number one, that makes them hyper, and number two, they tip it everywhere. Just don't even go there. Look after the children and just keep them entertained, you know. Buy them a colouring book or some toys to play with, or put some headphones on and make them watch a film like Frozen or a Disney film. Don't leave them screaming because it's really annoying. Thank you. Close insert. So headphones are really good. I love a good pair of headphones. Just listen to some music or a film and you know, you're in the zone. Don't have to worry about anything else. Number two, wear comfy clothes. For me, comfy clothes are of like the utmost important. This is the top that I generally wear when my anxiety is really bad, because it's very loose, very floaty, light, so I don't get too hot, and it's very comfortable as well. I also like to wear leggings because they're good for when you're in England, but they're also okay when you reach your destination, which is usually a hot country for me. And I really like that sort of outfit combo and some comfy shoes, like just some really nice. I usually go for Toms, which are brilliant for when you're travelling abroad because you can just about wear them in England, but they're also okay in the hot weather. So that's a bonus. I'll give you that. So yeah, that's another second piece of advice. Number three would be colouring. I have recently got into adult colouring books and like mindfulness shizzle. I ordered some stuff on Amazon very cheaply, and it's brilliant because you can just sit there and colour, which is great for your mind and calming you, and gives you something to do with your hands. Because for me, when I get anxious, I like to do things with my hands. That sounds a bit risky, but I do. I get very fiddly and I'm just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. My hands just sort of want to do something. So colouring for me is really good, and it keeps you entertained, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment, because when you're colouring, when you finished it, sense of achievement, it's great. As you probably saw in my Menorca vlog, when I'm on the plane, there's a little bit of time-lapsed colouring. How I spent my whole flight was brilliant. Advice number four would be take a blanket / pillow. For me, I take one of those neck cushion things that just look a bit deformed, because that's the best thing for me, because then I can try and sleep. Although sleeping on the plane I found quite hard. On the coach between the airport and the hotel, I slept like a log because I got up at 2 AM and not really a lot you can do about that. I would also advise you to pack early and leave early. When you're going to the airport, leave a little bit early because you never know what's going to happen, and for me the words just in case or what if, you know, just get there early just in case, because you know, what if there's a time delay, or what if you get stuck in traffic, or what if, I don't know, there's a zombie apocalypse and you know, you get traffic of zombies crossing the road. Anything can happen, and whether it's likely or not, just be prepared. You know, saves you a bit of anxiety, it's worth it. When I go on a plane, I also like to use gum because it keeps my mouth going. Also, the taste of plain food. I don't know if it's just me, but the smell and the taste of it is vile. I can't abide it, I can't eat it. Oh. So I like to chew gum to stop me feeling so hungry on the plane, because like I feel hungry, but then when I eat it I start being sick. Ugh, can't cope with plain food. And also it helps with your ears popping, which isn't a very nice sensation. So gum, good one. If you're not flying and you are, say, going by boat, because I'm going on a cruise, my advice for that would be make sure you pack sufficiently, and by sufficiently don't go overboard, because although the restrictions are less when you go on a cruise, doesn't mean, you know, you can let your anxiety rule it all and, you know, pack everything that you own, because believe me, you won't need it. Like, I pack probably twice as much as I actually need. So yeah, but in the boarding process it's not so stressful, but I would take one form of entertainment like an iPad or something, because in the waiting room bit, when you're getting ready to check in, they like have this letter system thing. I can't really describe it very well, but you have like, they call out letters, so they call you in groups as you arrive. So when you arrive, you get a ticket thing which like says G, and then when they call G, you can go and check in to stop like massive great queues and swarms and stuff. So I would take some entertainment because it's a long wait. When you're at the hotel, unpack straight away, because otherwise you'll procrastinate and leave it, and if you try and leave things in the suitcase, it ends up in a muddle, and you know, you start like, you know, the wash bags and shoes for me I put near the bottom, so then you have to start like turning things over and it gets in a mess and then you can't find the top you want. So unpack when you get there, good thing to do. When I arrive at a hotel, I do a little walk around. I investigate basically, so I know where everything is. You know, I make sure I know where my room is, I know where toilets are, I know where you get food, I know where reception is, and the swimming pool. For me, those are my 5 main things that I must know before staying in a hotel, and so I just sort of get a gist of how things are run, and I know the times of when food is done. I sound very food obsessed, but I like to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, because for me that's just the key to life. So I would go and check around the hotel and see how things work, because then you don't have to worry about it and, you know, think, oh my god, what happens if I need this and I don't know where reception is, because that's a big issue. Another piece of advice would be take some home comforts. For me, I have a cuddly toy rabbit called Peter from the Peter Rabbit. Yep, I'm sad. But for me, that is something that comforts me when I'm feeling really horrible, because he's got a little rattle inside him, because it's obviously a children's toy. I've had it all my life, and it's something that really comforts me. But whatever it is for you, whether it's a teddy bear or a photo or a specific blanket or anything like that, take some home comforts so that in case being away from home distresses you, if you have some home comforts, it might help ease your anxieties around being away. So I pack a couple of photos and things like that just to put around the place so it feels a bit more calming for me. One thing that I wish I had remembered, because when I get anxious lots of things go out the window, is that you are not trapped on holiday. Like, whether I'm in Menorca or not, I'm not trapped. Like, for some reason I got in the head that I was completely trapped in this country, there's no way of getting home, I'm stuck here for 2 weeks and there's nothing else I can do, I'm stuck here. You know, I can't go home, anything like that. And then that just went straight in my head and I could not get that thought out, and it just blew me out of complete proportion. And I really wish I remembered that I am not trapped, because if anything bad happened to me, I can get a flight home. Okay, it would be expensive, but my parents personally would be prepared to pay that if it meant that I was happy. You know, you are not trapped, you are perfectly safe, and there is always a way out. Remember that. Also, another thing I've learned is if you're feeling anxious about being on holiday, talk to the people you are staying with and make sure you tell them that you are feeling anxious, because if you don't, you might get lugged into, I don't know, traipsing around the town when you really are not feeling up to it. You know, say you are not feeling up to it, you could always do it another day. You know, just make sure you tell them how you are feeling, and you know, don't just think, oh no, they wouldn't want to know that, they won't believe me, blah blah blah, because they'll be okay with it. You know, I should have told my parents that I felt anxious rather than waiting until I was bawling my eyes out, and that was something I learned quite quickly. So I really would just tell them. They're not gonna like kill you for it, it's not your fault. You know, just make sure you have a little break before, you know, dragging yourself here, there and everywhere. It also makes life easier for them as well, because then they understand what's wrong rather than you sort of sitting there like and then being like, what's wrong with you? Because then they can get cross with you if you just sort of sit there and go, I don't want to go. Why don't you want to go? Because I don't want to. Why don't you want to? I don't know. You know, and that can make them quite frustrated. So I would definitely tell them, you know, my anxiety's not feeling great today. Can we just sort of take a chill pill, you know, just sort of have a chill out day? So lesson learned. Something that is optional and I like to do is before you go on holiday, check out the area, you know, and see what's around, like where a local shop is, in case you forget something like, I don't know, toothpaste. Okay, Spanish toothpaste may not be the same as your normal toothpaste, but it's still toothpaste. You know, if it's that kind of emergency, you'll deal with anything. So have a look around, you know, because when I went on holiday, because we went with Thomas Cook, they had a little talkie meeting thing and they gave us a map, and that was really useful because then I knew the local area roughly-ish, because I had to go to the pharmacy because I had a really bad heat rash, and because I had the map I knew roughly where that was, and that was really useful for me because then I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't get this rash, I don't know where a pharmacy is, because I knew where it was, which is very nice. If you take medication, I would take a little bit more than you require, just a couple of days more, because if you take the exact amount that you need, then if something happened, like I don't know, you ended up on hospital or you had to stay longer because your flight was cancelled, I would rather have my medication with me rather than having to like go, oh my god, I need to go to a pharmacy and make sure they have the right medication that I have. So I always take a little bit more, not like excessively more, not like double your holiday's worth, but, you know, just a couple of days just in case the worst should happen, you know, you've got something to tie you over. So yeah, when you're repacking, use your list that you made if you have made a list, and also whilst you're repacking, check everywhere, you know, check under the bed, check all the wardrobes, just check everything, you know, check the bathroom as well, because I always leave something in the bathroom, like whether it's a deodorant. Okay, it's not the end of the world, but it is annoying. And if there are things that are important to you, like for me, my cuddly toy Peter Rabbit, I put that in my hand luggage, because should your suitcase get lost or, you know, just end up in the wrong place for whatever reason, you've got your key important items with you anyway. So anything that I find super duper important, I always put in my hand luggage just in case. That phrase rules my life, but it's sometimes worth it ruling my life if it ensures that I've got everything that I need personally. Yeah, so I think that's all the advice I have for going on holiday with anxiety. One thing I would say is don't let anxiety mean that you don't go on holiday, because even though I really did want to go to Menorca, I just didn't want to. It just filled me with dread. I really enjoyed it by the end, so just don't let anxiety rule it. You know, you are you, and just don't let it rule you, because holidays are great, fun once you get into it. For me, I take a little bit of time to settle, but just take that initial step, take the plunge, and just say yes. You know, if your parents say, do you want to go on holiday? Don't go, oh no, don't really want to, oh no, oh. Just say yes. You know, even if you just go for like 2 or 3 days, that is something, and you know, you will be very proud of yourself when you have done it, because not gonna lie, I'm very proud of myself for going and coming back in one piece. So yeah, I think that's all the advice I have. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or want any more sort of advice videos. Leave anything in the comments, whether that's video suggestions or something about this video, whether you liked it or not, or any other advice, because you know, people like to read advice comments. So if you've got any advice, put it in the comments, and also subscribe if you're new. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Bye guys!